So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about, option trading versus savings account. Um, so before I begin, remember again, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. So options, right? In option trading, you can make a significant amount of money. There's also risk. So you want to have a risk management, things like that. And in savings account, you can make with the high yield savings account, you can make anywhere from about 3% to about 5% right now as I'm recording this. And if you don't have a high yield savings account, you make even less, right? For example, some accounts give you 0.01 or 0.001% on your money, which is like nothing, right? So you want to make sure our money is making money. And what um, some of those banks do, right? They use your money to make more money. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Let's go. They use some of your money to make that money to work. So we want to do the similar thing, make our money make more money, right? So we could do we could do different things like option trading, as I said earlier, or high yield savings account, and so on. So with high yield savings account, right? As I said, you could make 3.3% to about 5%, and and if you put and keep in mind that's annually, so that's eight. That is every year you get that 3 to 5% return, depends on which savings account you choose. And and with option trading, right? You can make, as I said earlier, a lot of decent amount of money fast, but it also has risk. So we want to have a risk management in place. Remember, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Let's live up together. Let's go. So I want to show you guys something about one of the option contract that I have, and then I'll get back into talking real quick. So here we go. So as you guys can see right here, this is one of my option contract, right? Over 232% right here. And I paid as I paid about $460 and 67 cents for this option contract. So you can see how, and this option contract here was this amount of percent was less than a year, right? This amount was less than a year, 232%. And as I said, that you make 3 to 5% from uh right now as I'm recording this, from up from high yield savings account, and even less from a regular savings account where you earn from anywhere from 0.001% and so on. So I'm going to show you guys another example of how you could calculate. Remember, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. Of another example of what it could look like, if how long it could take to make that amount with from a high yield savings account or a savings account. So let's check it out. So if you come here, right, you go to the savings calculator here. So you can see I could put the same amount that I have here. Let me just double check how much I had. 460.67. Let's put that down. So, right, and I have no annual additional contribution or so on. And then I put the interest rate of about 3%, right, which is some high yield savings account right now. And let's calculate that. So as you can see right here, this is the end balance here, which is around similar to what I have in less than a year, using option trading. And you can see here how many years it would take me to save to that. If I have a 3%, it would take 40 years, 40 years, right, to make the 232% that I show you with option trading. It will take you with a high yield savings account or a savings account, it will take you 40 years. Now let's do 5% instead of 3%, right? Whatever percent is. So with this one, let's do 25. Let's calculate this. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. So it would take about 25 years to make what I showed you here. What I showed you here on this option contract that I have here. It would take you about, say, 232%, 0.12%. It would take you, if you have a higher savings account, what has an annual percent return. It would take 5%. It would take you about 25 years to make what I just showed you with the option contract, and that was less. That was less than a year, guys. So you can see. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Level up together. Let's go. I want to get some more people. Let's go. So as you can see, it's you can make a significant amount of more money in a shorter period of time with option trading. But keep in mind, as I said, it has risk, so you want to have your risk management in place to make sure you mitigate those. Nothing wrong with high yield savings account um, because you can still make your money make money, especially if you don't know what you're doing right now. Um, you could make your money make money with the high yield savings account, but this is another alternative where you could, or addition that you could add to your high yield savings account and make more money, right? So you don't want to necessarily take all your money out of your high yield savings account. You could put some of your money in, you know, a percentage into trading. But I recommend learning the skill of trading first, using paper trading, things like that, so that you're not putting your real money right now at risk. So you want to learn the skill, then you jump into the game. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. So as I said, guys, with here it will take you 25 years on a five to put the same amount, to make the same amount, um, with a 5% return on a savings account. I'm using this calculator.net savings calculator here, and it took me less than a year on option trading to make 232.12%, right? So less than a year versus 25 years. As I said, nothing against high yield savings account. Definitely, I would definitely recommend not getting a regular savings account where you're getting 0.001 or so percent. But I'll say you could get your higher savings account, but use some of your money to learn the skill of trading and to make your money make more money. So 25 years on 5%, and 40 years if you have a higher savings account on a 3% return. So let me know, guys, which one would you choose, or would you do both? Or let me know you guys thoughts with that. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. So with this tool, guys, with option trading, you could make 3% in a matter of minutes or second. It depends on how you trade, right? And as I said, it has risk, so you definitely want to have your risk management. The strategy that I like to do is I only could lose the money that I put in, um, and I could make endless amount of money, right? But what I like to do as well is you want to have risk management. Say, for example, you get a contract that is $20, right? If it gets to $19, you could just get out of the trade, so you only lose $1, right? So you want to have your risk management in place when you're doing trading. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Let's go. Let's live up together. So we definitely want to make sure we learn the skill. Speaking of that, if you guys want to, you could check out the link in the description. Um, the link in the description where you could you could start learning more about option and things like that, learning the skill, and you could get access to my course and things like that if you want. I also have a free webinar if you guys want to check that out as well. So definitely invest in yourself, learn the skill of like this, like how to make your money make money, and you could definitely make a decent amount, significant amount of money. As you can, if you look through my channel, you could see where I show an example of how much I made, some of the example of what I made in option. You could turn a small amount of money into big money, but you have to pay the right strategy, right? So if you want to learn things like that, you could check out the link in the description. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. So option trading versus savings account, right? You can make, as I said, you can make 3-5% quickly in option trading. Um, in a matter of minutes or seconds, or it depends on what strategy you're playing. Versus if you do a savings account, you make that within a year. So you know, let's look at that real quick. So so you have that what I bought a contract for 460.67, right? And within a year of this is what you make. So 1 year of on a 3%, you make $13.82, right? Within a year. Now let's go to 5%. Right? Within a year you make $23.03. And remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. And if you look at this example here that I have, see, this is the amount that it returned in less than a year. So you definitely, I recommend learning this skill. You could, in less than a year, made over 1,000 versus here, you made $23.03 in a year. So definitely recommend looking into learning the skill of trading options, things like that, and before you put your real money in it, because it also has risk, so you want to have your risk management in place. And if you guys want to learn the skill, learn things like what I'm showing you here, then you could check out the link in the description where you could learn the skill and start making money, make more money. um, and you get access to course and things like that, and you got questions that you have help you on your journey to learning the skill and making money, make more money. Also, you can check out a free webinar if you want, link in the description. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's go. What do you guys do trading, or what do you guys do? Are you a new trader with options? Or are you never heard of option before? And if you also, do you have a savings account? Is it a regular savings account, a high yield savings account? Let me know. I definitely recommend having a high. If you have a regular savings account, I definitely recommend going to a higher savings account versus a regular savings account, because you get more return on your money. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. Also, guys, on a different note, something that I want to share real quick is as like a quick warning that I see in some videos of people, talking about like a scam where people are people are calling people and and using their number. It looks like like say I call you, you see my number, and you think it's me, but it's not me. So I just sharing that to say be aware, share, tell your your family, parents, grandparents, things like that, to be careful of any kind of like people trying to impersonate somebody to try to get you to send them money or get into your bank account and things like that. So be careful out there. You could look it up. It's seen some videos of people sharing where people pretend it's somebody or they try to say they have somebody hostage or something, and they're trying to get money. So be careful out there. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. So as it relates to back to what I was saying with option trading versus high yield saving account, I mean, or saving account, then you definitely want to learn the skill of option trading to make your money make more money, right? And I'm not, as I said, I don't have anything against higher savings account, anything like that. I'm just saying you could learn this to make your money, have another way of making your money make more money. Um, and you still use a certain amount of certain percent of your money to make more money, right? So you could take some of the money and put it into option trading to make more money, and so on. Remember, it also has risk, so we definitely want to have a risk management in place. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's go. Let's level up together. Let's go. So let's look at the calculator again. Oops, sorry about that. So you got 460, say the initial deposit investment is 460.67, and you get a 3% return over 40 years. It will take about 40 years to make what I showed you on one of my return here in option trading, right? Take about 40 years. And I had an initial deposit investment of $460.67, and that's on a 3%, and that was less than a year. Versus if you have a savings account that give you a 3%, it would take you about 40 years to get to about that same similar number, right? This calculator right here I'm using is this savings calculator, and say you have a 5% now, right? 5% return. It will take you about 25 years. So that's why it's important, guys, to learn skills to invest in ourselves, to make sure that we're not just working harder, but we're also working smarter. As I said, some of the bank, like, they use your money, right? Like some savings account, some banks that offer savings account, like say 0.001 or so. Some of the banks use your money to invest and make more money, right? So we definitely want to learn the skill too, so that we can make our money make more money. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Let's level up together. Let's go. So if you guys want to learn the skill, learn this like option trading and things like that, you could check out the link in the description. Also have a free webinar if you want to check it out as well. Let's go. Let's level up together. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's go. Let's see. So it took me, for the option, for the example I showed you, it took me less than a year to make that. over 200% return, versus if I did a savings account, it would take about 25 years or more to make that amount. So if you want to speed up the how much money could make, and I recommend learning this skill to make your money make more money, right? So building some generational wealth, or even, you know, get some extra income to learn the skill to so you can make your money start making more money. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. Typo, okay. So here we go. Paid that and made over 200% return. All right, with option trading. And then if you come on a savings account here, that gives you, let's just do, let's say the 3%. It would take about 40 years to give you about the same. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Let's level up together. Let's go. 460, 67, $406.67 at 3% return. The years to save, 40, and then end balance, as you can see right there, to take 40 years. And if you get a savings account that has a 5% right now, it would take you about 25 years to make, you know, if you put in $460.67, like what I did with the option, with a savings account, it would take you about 25 years to make about the same. The end balance right here. See? And the amount of years it would take. And you come here. This was less than a year on option trading. And so that's the one of the things when you learn the skill, you could always use the skill, right? It doesn't just go away. It's not like when you eat a cheeseburger or something, or food. After a while, it come out your system, right, and gone. So when you learn the skill, you always have that skill to keep playing dividend versus temporary things, right? Like as I said with food, you can buy a burger and you eat it a couple hours later or a couple days, out your system. Now you got to get more food, right? So, but with this, when you have the skill, it's just there. You know what to do. You go in and do what you got to do what you do, and make the return on your money. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. Do you guys trade currently, or are you not a trader right now? Let me know in the comments. Are you a beginner? Are you advanced? Let me know, guys. Let's go. When I first started trading, it looked gibberish. The chart flickering green, red, and numbers changed rapidly. What was that? Rob Freed, not a trader but want to learn. Okay, nice. Yeah, if you want to learn, you could check out the link in the description. I have a free webinar. You could, join the community I have as well. Get course, coaching, all those things. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's go. So when I first started, it just looked gibberish to me. It was numbers changing fast, flickering green to red and things like that. And, I just had to I just kept pushing through. And then finally, by watching video and investing in myself and things, I invest in some stuff, I was able to understand it better, and then I started making money in it. But it was to me it was like a foreign language, right? I didn't understand it. Yeah. And I've heard people when I look at it, it was like it was risky. It was all these things, so I kind of stayed away. But then I just saw the potential that what it could return. Then I invest in myself, learn the skill, and now I'm making. I show you. You can look at my channel as well. You could see some of the example of what I made. So that's just when you invest in yourself and take the step to make your money make more money, not just hoping that it's just gonna happen all the thing. We have to take the step, right? We have to have faith and work, not just work, but faith. We had to take the step in that direction that we want to go. So I recommend learning the skill to make your money make more money. As I just broke down, if you have savings account, as I said, nothing wrong with that. If you have a savings account, it takes you a year to make about 3 to 5%. With this skill, with option trading, you can make way past. You can make what they put in a year in a couple of minutes or seconds, depends on what strategy you use, and you can make significantly way more, even less than a year, 6 months, a year, or less from learning the skill. So I definitely recommend you guys learning the skill of option trading, and invest in yourself, and it's gonna pay dividends. I personally have done that, and I'm glad I did, because it just feels good when you know the skill, and you could just you go and you look at a chart, and you just like, okay, let's make this move, da, 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 and you could see the return on your money. And you don't have to necessarily be in there every day, every single minute, every second. You could have different things that you pay. You could pay a leap. You could do different strategies, swing, different things like that, so you can make money, and you don't have to necessarily be on it every second of the day. So you kind of like it's kind of like passive. You just want to have some risk management and things like that. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. Yeah, so I definitely recommend checking out the link in the description. You can watch my free webinar, and you can also join the community. You get course and things like that to learn this skill. Um, it's an investment in yourself, and you're making your money make more money. It's not a cost, right? It's an investment. As I said, it's gonna pay dividend, and I recommend learning. The reason why I recommend learning the skill before you get into it is because it has risk. So you want to make sure that you're not putting your own money at risk by just jumping in. You can. I personally did, and when I in the beginning, because I was willing to lose that money, right? But I did eventually lose that money in the beginning before I didn't do paper trading. I just went straight in. But if you're not willing to lose what you put in the beginning when you're learning, then I recommend investing in yourself, learning the skill, studying it and practicing, and you see that it can pay dividends. It can pay way more than what you have initially invested. So remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. And as I said, as I show you here, you can make what high yield savings account, what you get 3 to 5% in a year. You can make that in a minute, a second from option trading. But remember, it also has risk, so you want to have your risk management in place, things like that. And yeah, guys. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let's level up together. Let's go. Remember, for His glory. Peace. let's go